Hey guys, Aaron Coombs, personal trainer, functional aesthetics EC. So today I'm going to be doing some more legs. At least the plan for right now is I'm going to be doing some squats. Then I'm going to do follow that up with either overhead press or incline bench press. I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do the shoulder press, then incline bench press, back to squats, and then I might throw in some accessory work as well. But as always, as I talked about, when you have a inconsistent schedule, and your life varies from time to time. As you may or may not know, I'm not sure if I mentioned this in my previous video, I recently got laid off from my day job, so my life has changed a lot. Now, the plus side is I get more time to work on my business, but I also have more time where I'm sitting, applying to jobs, things like that, to support myself while I pursue my side hustle, which is the business. So anyway, that's the plan. We're going to be doing the squats or lunges, some sort of leg exercise like that. Shoulder presses, incline bench press, a little bit of accessory work, and we'll get into the video. So, as you might have seen in some of my other videos, I've been doing a lot more, at least for me, heavier lifting, lower reps, heavier load, like that. Before I started this channel, I almost did strictly bodybuilding style routines. So everything was in between like the 8, very rarely in the 15, but usually 8 to 12 rep range. 3 to 4 sets per exercise, multiple different exercises, superset type stuff like that. After I started the channel, when I was doing, first getting into the swing of doing the business and stuff, I backed off of that and started, I think because I just had a little bit less energy and things like that from all the mental work I was doing and the change of pace and things like that, various different factors. But I was doing really good with doing heavier weights and things like that. It was exciting. I was, I think last year I deadlifted 360 for 7 reps. Felt a little bit of twinge in my back, so I stopped it short. Otherwise, I definitely could have gotten about another 2 or 3 reps out of that. So that was pretty good for me. Never really focused on lifting a lot of weight and stuff like that. Then same thing with squats. I think I did 300 for quite a few reps as well, and so that was really exciting. Now I'm find myself going back into a higher volume stage, as I will frequently do. That basically what happens is, when you first start out your training, you're a novice lifter, do higher volume, get used to doing the loads and stuff, build up that muscle glycogen, and then after a time, you'll tend to kind of start depleting muscle glycogen with that high volume, especially if you're not shoving food down your face. And I don't find force feeding yourself is a good option for trying to get bigger and stuff. My mode for it, and it takes a little bit longer, but it just works better for me, because honestly, when I tried to bulk and just eat more food and stuff and lift heavier and stuff like that, all it did is make me feel sick, get puffy, get digestive issues and stuff like that. So what I'll do is I will increase the volume so that I will naturally want to be eating more, because I'm, burning a lot of energy and stuff. And then keep the calories the same, boom, 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 boom. And when you do that, you're going to deplete your muscle glycogen. Then you gradually start increasing the load, decreasing the reps, because now you don't have as much energy in there, but you can lift heavy, right? And so that's going to allow your muscles to start super compensating or restoring that muscle glycogen. It's kind of like with marathon runners, you can either, carbohydrate load right before the race, or you can do another form, which is do a lot of long runs, a lot of high volume and stuff, and maybe even a low carbohydrate diet prior, in the months leading up to in the month or whatever leading up to your race, to really deplete that muscle glycogen, increase that insulin sensitivity. Then when you decrease it and you back off, in the week prior to your race, you're going to supercharge those muscles because they've been used to doing all that high volume. So all that stuff's going to get, super packed of the glycogen into your muscles, and you're going to have a really good race. So the same thing here. When you back off that high volume, start doing heavier weight and stuff, over time, that muscle glycogen will creep back up, and as your joints are fatiguing and stuff from doing all this heavy load all the time, now with the muscle glycogen built back up, now you can start decreasing that load, increasing your volume, and cycle back and forth like that, and let your body dictate when you should be doing it. All right, enough talking. Let's get into our next set, which I think is shoulder presses. So one thing that you may notice that I do a lot in my videos is in between sets, even while I'm doing the sets, a lot of focus on my breathing. So it's absolutely critical, especially as you're moving towards the end ranges of your abilities, whether strength-wise, endurance, whatever, to make sure that you are timing your breathing with your cadence and that it's in time with the movements of your body. Otherwise, you get fatigue much, much quicker. And another thing, too, one important thing for lifting a heavier amount of weight is increasing that interthoracic pressure inside here, which gives you more leverage when you're doing exercise. So for example, when you're doing a squat, taking a deep breath as you put your hand back, you got all that pressure in here, right? And then breathe it out slowly as you're coming up. You don't want to breathe it out too fast either, because if you breathe it out too fast, you're going to lose all your gas halfway up, and then trying to lift the weight with no oxygen in your lungs after the last half of the exercise. So got to play around with that a little bit to find out what's optimal for you. I know they say you're not supposed to hold your breath when you're lifting, but I personally come down and about, a quarter of the way up, halfway up and stuff, that's when I start releasing it, and then most of it comes out right towards the end of the rep. So that's how I do it. Now, another thing, when I was doing the shoulder presses there, you might have noticed when I put the weight down, just breathing in really deep like that, that's going to help you recover much more quickly for your next exercise. You want to focus yourself and relax. It's kind of like in martial arts when they do Tai Chi, right? And you're focusing on energizing the body, right, for the breathing. Because you're working out, you are depleting energy reserves, right? Things like Tai Chi, yoga, those kind of things like that. Breathing exercises help you to restore that energy into the body and maintain that balance so you can go back and hit it hard. Because with lifting, it's about overload, right? It's about pushing the limits, getting better and better on each successive lift. If you can't do that, you're turning it more into an endurance exercise rather than a strength exercise. All right, let's get into those incline presses. All right, so I changed my mind after a long hiatus from doing pull-ups due to the shoulder injury I was having. I've been doing pull-ups almost every single day and just literally loving it. So those muscles are just itching to do it, and I'm gonna do it as long as I can until it starts feeling burnt out, and then I'll take a little bit of layoff and stuff like that. So before we get into the incline presses, I'm gonna be showing you some pull-ups. I mean, nothing spectacular, but I just gotta throw them in. Okay, so another exercise I was staying away from during the time that I had my shoulder injury, and predominantly, not only because it hurt a little bit too, having the shoulder separation, but also because the trapezius muscle tends to be overly dominant in relation to the lower trapezius muscle. And so while I was trying to restore shoulder health and work on balancing out the shoulder girdle, I was working a lot more on lower trapezius stuff, and so I didn't want my strong upper traps to interfere with the work I was doing on the lower traps. But now that I've restored a little bit of that balance, I have started incorporating barbell shrugs, couple, once every couple weeks or something like that. Sometimes every week, but usually very infrequently, but still doing it. Anytime I'm just really feeling like I need to do some shrugs or something like that, then I'll throw it in there as I continue to work on the shoulder girdle health as a whole. All right, so we're gonna throw in a set of shrugs here real quick, and then I was really thinking that I wanted to do those incline presses, but now I'm almost feeling like I might hold off on that, but we'll see how I feel after doing these. All right, guys, so I think that's going to be the workout. My muscles are just not feeling like they're ready to do the incline press after doing that whole thing right there. So I'm going to wait maybe another day or two or something like that to get that in there. I might tack in some incline dumbbell rows as well, just to hit the trapezius at a slightly different angle as well. But anyway, you don't need to do super long workouts all the time. You can do little mini workouts every day, just incorporating different parts of your workouts and stuff like that over the course of time. So if you do have a really busy schedule, or if you are under a lot of stress, or just mentally or physically fatigued, because what I'm really finding out is that working a lot on business stuff and mentally can fatigue you physically as well. So just getting those little spurts of stuff in there can keep you on the track, help energize you, and give you more motivation to get back to your more brain-intensive work as well. So thank you guys for watching the video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you'd like to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Functional Aesthetics EC. If you'd like to see me include any other kind of content in my videos, leave me a message at the email in the address below called ContentRequestFAEC@gmail.com. And we'll see you all next time for more health and fitness related information. Thanks guys for watching. Talk to you all next time.